Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel, The Lost Wrench Garage. My name's Greg, and we're going to work on the Spitfire, try to get the intake and the exhaust manifold off, because I snapped the exhaust studs, get them replaced. Hang around, let's do it. Yeah, it's time to get the manifold off. I already busted the bolts loose. I had a stud missing back here on the bottom of the exhaust manifold. But the studs, they just pulled out of the head. I'm going to have to investigate a little bit more, because I swear I do not see well, there is one, but yep, I bet you, yep. Okay, I see it now, it's extended. So how the hell are you to get to those? When, yeah. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the ass. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Get some light on the subject. Right there. It's holding on the bottom sides of the exhaust manifold. So, only way I can see to get into them, because you can't get into it from here, is through here. Open end wrench. Well, that's going to be nice. How the hell are you supposed to tweak them down to make sure they're seating the manifold correctly? Let me see what I can dig up. She's being a bear. Okay, we're going to have to do something here. I got all this fluid. Yeah, I might as well just dump it on all of it on the floor. Oh, there's only a little bit left now. What the fuck? Why not? I do have a drain, but let me grab my kitty litter and get that cleaned up. I should have put a pan under it. Okay, what a mess. I got some kitty litter down as much as I could. Once I'm done, I'll get it really cleaned up. To soak up most of it. Gonna make a mess of that kitty litter. This turns out freaking clay. But from what I'm seeing, there's a nut on the bottom side of the manifold. Goes through. The intake goes. It's broke, so it ain't gonna matter. So should be able to. Yeah, it's cracked. So Should be able to get this thing separated some way. It is loose, as you can see, but it's not that great. And I've been trying to loosen these up as much as I can before I lose room, which is going to be pretty soon, right there. Because those footballs, I should just pull away from it. If I'm not mistaken, I ain't sure. I should look at the manual and see if they go straight through the intake manifold in a hole, which is a good possibility. I'm going to look at the manual. Well, that was easy enough. I grabbed hold of the exhaust and she slipped right out, but you can see, no, those bolts don't go through the manifold. You can see the back side of the stud right there, but for some reason I think it's this one that's still holding it in place. So I'm going to fight with that, but I got the exhaust manifold off over there on the bench, and I'll try and get this off because I'm going to have to put a new gasket in, and I'd like to clean up the manifold. Yeah, we got her out. I had to reach up underneath and pull the studs out, which are right here. Stud and all came out. Must be brass, but there's locating pins. There's like one here and one there, which this one stayed with the block that go into the manifold. So yeah, we got them all over here, but first thing that we need to do is work on this, get these studs removed, and so I can get the exhaust repaired and get it back on. But like I was saying earlier, let me show you that the mount right here that goes for the exhaust, for the intake manifold, which is right there, broke. So I don't think it's going to be any issue, which I'm not going to worry about, to tell you the truth. But that's I'm going to set that off somewhere else because I'm going to have to get heat and all that on this, and maybe get out the welder. At least the studs are sticking out. Get it sprayed down with plaster and get this thing so I can get new studs put in it. Pretty nice. Now that gasket's pretty junk. It's freaking crumbled. Kind of why I like these paint scrapers. Got different angles you can work with to get crap cleaned up. Probably should get the wire wheel out. I think there might be a... I think they double gasket this damn thing. I think I got it all. Maybe not. Let me get the wire wheel out and clean her up so I can see what's going on. Okay. Now it's kind of looking. I think there might be. I ain't sure. It's another gasket. If that's the casing, the casting, I mean, you can see where this lip is right here. Is that the way it's supposed to be? Can't get under it. I don't know. But I don't think it's, it may not be another piece of gasket. I don't know. I can't feel a lip. So there's a piece of rust right there. But I don't feel a lip anywhere else. We're going to dose this down with blaster. These lids on these things suck. Blaster, if you're watching, change it up. Go to old school stuff. The way it used to be. I'm going to try some heat first. So you got to push the lever. The lever is supposed to give you plus or minus. If you move it down here, nothing comes out anyway. Nothing at all. If you move it halfway, nothing. And this is only all the way open. It's the only way it works. Crazy bullshit. Just like gasoline freaking nozzles. Okay, let's see if we can get some heat on that and get that thing, get at least one heated up and see if we can get the dang thing moving off. If not, then I'm going to probably have to weld a nut or something to them. Only thing I got is a Benzomatic, and you don't want to heat the bolt or the stud up. You want to heat around it because you want that metal to expand. A lot of people think you put the heat on the bolts. Well, some people do, but you want the metal around it to expand to relieve the pressure on the stud or bolt. And this will take a little while, so I'll bring you back whenever we're ready to yank her out of there. There we go. Don't tell me she... I think I'm just turning her, just chewing it up. Yep, just chewing it up. Well, hell. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Okay, that's enough of that. We'll bring you back once we get her moving. Well, that didn't work. I heated that sucker up and she snapped off. You guys probably noticing too that, let me find something to point with. Right there. I don't know if that's a crack or if that's still a gasket on there, because you can see it has like a lip. I don't know if that's in the casting, but I'm hoping that crack ain't nothing major. If it is a crack in the manifold, I'm hoping it don't look like it's, if it is, it just goes up and then it comes back down, so I don't know. But that's where we're at right now, so it's looking like I might be doing some welding, drilling a nut on there. I think if that don't work, then I'll be drilling the bastards out. Sounds like fun. I'd rather go to a header, but right now, no, that's not in the budget. Yeah, it's not working out too good. I heated up this side now. Yep, it's sheared off too. So I'm not even going to fight with that one. I might have to shear it off anyways to be able to drill them out. Gonna have to grind them flush, center punch them, get out the drill, and just start drilling. Use different size bits to get up to the point to where hopefully we can get them out. Well, I ground them down. I just got done center punching the bolts to start drilling, and the damn thing fell out of the freaking vise, landed right on that ear, sheared it right off, 2 different pieces. I can't find the other piece, but here's one piece of it. Why? So I don't know if I should just look for another one. This is broken off back here anyways, where the carburetor was. So I don't know. Not happy. Yeah, it's the next day. I'm out here in the garage. I got them drilled out to about as big as I can go so I don't get into the threads. And I'm going to try a easy out to get the rest. And then we'll tap it and we'll see if I got some studs. If not, I'll have to order them. No big deal. But I'm just going to let that fly I might be able to throw a washer around it. It's not going to bite, not going to have a lot of bite on it. But I do have one in the works. I don't know just yet. We'll see if I'm going to be able to get hold of one. But I have been looking for a header. So I've been seeing them, you know, $200 and some new. So maybe I might be able to find one. I don't know, something used, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. But I'm going to get the taps out and all that, see if I can get that taken care of. Okay, this is where we're at. I did get them drilled out. I got one tapped. Now I got to work on the other two. I got this bolt in there, and it is better than 3/4 of the way through. Let's maybe get you guys down in there to see it, maybe not. Yeah, right there is the end of the bolt. So I'd say it's at least that far into the casting, so that'd be good. This is an old hack I've done for many years. Just grab a bolt that fits, that works. That's if you get the old ones out, the threads are good. But just grab a bolt and put it down in there as long as you got enough room to put the flange on and have enough to put the nut, put a lock washer and nut on there. I have to go measure the flange on the exhaust and then decide on, this is just a bolt I grabbed, but just give it a longer bolt in there, and then you just hack it off and clean up the threads with your top set, and then you got studs. Why buy them when you can make them? Yeah, what a pain. I still got to do some cleaning up on that surface. And then I went out and measured the flange, which will have plenty. So, and those are sunk in all the way. They're as deep as they're going to go. I can only get the tap so far in, and then it would start gathering up and binding up, and I don't want to break the tap. You can see I got a piece of steel I got to remove from there, but like I said, I'm going to clean that face up. But that's done for now. This I put on here when I deleted the small crap. I'm going to try, like I said, getting a bolt and then heavy washer and see if that will help clamp it down, because the only other part's going to clamp is up here with the intake. Yeah, but so we'll see what happens there. But I am going to hit next. Let's get this gasket off, clean the face of the engine, and I'm looking at getting new hoses all the way around. Look at how it's supposed to be, the hoses ran so I can have heat. I got to clean up all these bolts. I'm going to reuse them. I could get a new kit, but why? Because it'll probably be coming off here in a little bit anyway, because I am looking at a header in either a Weber downdraft or twin SUs. But that'll have to wait until I get them. But so that's where I'm at right now. Get on that. Here's the gasket I got off. As you can see, I just put it here on the counter. But we were getting a good seal around the intakes, which were good. The exhaust is a different story. I think it's because they were loose, and this bolt, there was no nut on it whatsoever. That's the front of the engine. So I'll be trying to seal that back up, but the back didn't have a stud either. But it looked like it sealed a little bit. It might be a little dark down here in the center. You can see it was blowing by. That's the inside against the motor. Wasn't too bad. You can see carbon buildup. But we are going to be putting a new one in after I clean up the surface and work on this a little bit. I need to clean these up. I'm going to resurface these flat, make sure they're good to go, and get it back installed. I'll probably do the same with the manifold, make sure everything's flat, and then get it bolted back up. Well, now that I had a day, I shot this with black high temp stove paint. Try to keep it from rusting. And move the tripod out of the way. We got the head gasket on from the kit I got. But go to find out that the kit, it says headset Spitfire 72 through 80 and midget 500, which the exhaust gasket here, just to let you know, too big, way off. So I'm gonna have to order up the exhaust gasket. I was just gonna hang it from the bolts just so I know where it's at. And now I need to clean the intake, and I like to clean up the pipes, the intake, just so it looks a little better. I ain't going for a show car, so I'm just going for function. But one thing I am missing, if you guys got one laying around, is the choke return spring, or the return spring that's supposed to go on here. Goes for the choke. This is a Stromberg 150, I think it is. Don't recall. I remember seeing where it said, but if you got a spring laying around, hit me up. I could use it. Then I took the liberty of cleaning up all the bolts, giving them a shot of paint, just to keep them from rusting anymore. Yeah, it'll look a little better than what they were, all grimy and crusty. Was missing one bolt, but I did tap and clean all the bolt holes except for that stud there. I need to find the nut that will fit it. But I put a bolt in this one. I'm hoping because that's the end where the chip is taken out of the ear. I'm hoping that should be able to get a good bite on it. But, oh, excuse me, we will see. Man, what a pain. Had to fight with getting that thing on. But we got the bolts started. They're not anywhere tightened down. But we'll see how it works out. But what was the pain was these bottom bolts down underneath, the ones we fought with earlier. Wow. What I had to do is I had to get the exhaust started first. Get those 2 bolts in place. Turn the footballs, which are, I call these footballs because that's what it pushes down on both sides, the intake and the exhaust. Turn the footballs and then get the manifold in place, turn them back, and then try and reach in there, which I got a few turns, but get them in there in place. I haven't snugged them down yet, which I'm hoping that I can get in. Once I snug these down, I can get in and get them snugged down, which I should be able to. But yeah, what a pain in the ass. And then I took this rubber hose off, and it's junk. It had a hole in it, and I'm surprised it didn't leak. So time for a new hose. Probably get a new nipple here. My luck, I'd break the casting, which I probably won't place it. I'll just clean it up real good and have at it. And I do need to replace all the hoses, like the bottom one you can see. It's kind of swelled. So I'm going to put them on the list to replace. But we got her back in. So far, I'm going to tighten them down off the camera, so you don't have to watch me tighten down bolts. But our next objective is I've been working on, you've seen I was working on some of the seats. I got multiple tasks going, but I'm replacing the rocker, and I decided I was just trimming this back, and I trimmed that back. Just got to do some more fine tuning to get it to where it's going to fit correctly in all spots. I did get the floor pan done. There's one little spot right there I need to fill. I hand formed that. I replaced a panel in there. Now it's working on getting this in. The panel is not correct shape. The lips, the ones that go here and down here on that, were way out of alignment. So I had to take a pair of pliers and straighten them out to where they made it up. And luckily, I was able to save this piece. I was watching Steve's Project Garage, and his was roached, and I don't want to have to replace that. But this panel, when I got it, doesn't have a flange along the front, right there. You can see the old flange from the old one I cut out. So it didn't have a flange. So I'm going to have to make a flange, weld it to it, which ain't going to be no big deal. And then I need to remake this end cap, or I will just buy one. I haven't decided yet. The bottom is kind of crusty, but it's just a flat piece of steel. So I might just, if I can make it myself, I'll make it myself. But, yep, that's where we're at there. But I need to hang the doors first. I want to hang the door first before I really go any further. Yes, I don't have it braced. I know I'm going to hear it from you guys, but it hasn't moved. The floor, the floor pan was only bad up here on the one section, so I replaced the whole pan. But it hasn't moved. It ain't going to move. Now, if I had the body off the frame, then I'd be worried about it. But it is what it is. But I got to get the door on. And I want to open up these holes. So I got to remove the bracket from the back side. Pull those bolts out, remove the bracket from the back side, open up the holes a little bit, elongate them so I have more adjustment on the door, because I have new hinges on the door, so that's a good thing. So I ain't gonna get any sag. So to get door fitment and adjustment with the rocker panel is going to be easy. If you got bad hinges on your doors, you're fighting something that's totally out of whack. You know, if you're referencing off something, especially something that moves, you want to make sure it's correct before you even go there. But I'm going to do that next. Okay, we got her all tightened down, nice and tight. I got to order a hose. The one here is junk. I had to get another nut, find a washer, which the washer was a touch small, next size down, so step bit to the rescue. Got them all tightened down. This pipe here, it's about stupid. I don't understand why they say what's that supposed to do. Heat your manifold on a cold start. Okay, when the engine's been sitting overnight, everything's cold, so you're pumping cold water through there. So it ain't doing nothing. You got to choke. Okay, that's fine. But whenever you went somewhere, okay, and say you were there for half hour, 45 minutes, hour, water's still warm, then I can see it warming up the fuel charge. But why would you want to warm up an air charge? Colder and makes denser air, makes more power. I don't know. Okay, guys, got a little bit more done on the car. That exhaust really pissed me off. But that bolt I put in with a couple washers, I used the standard washer and a lock washer, and it pushed it cinched it down. But if it's still going to leak, I'll probably be getting a header. But then if I'm going to go with a header, I'm going to change that intake. I'm going to go with a Weber downdraft or twin SUs, which the Weber downdraft is a little bit more in my price range. But you're still looking at with a header and everything, and working on the exhaust, you know, getting it made up and whatever. You're still looking at close to $700-800 to $1,000. So we're gonna stay with this right now. I gotta get a new manifold to exhaust pipe gasket, since the one in that package wasn't the right size. So that'll be on order, because the exhaust is going to come in after I get the sill done, and that'll be in the next video. I'll show you where I'm at. I didn't shoot any video. I just came out here and turned the tunes on and just went at it, because I'm pushed for time. I'm going back to work. Well, by the time you see this video, I already been back to work. This is Sunday, the 31st, and I'm going back to work tomorrow morning, April Fool's Day. So, but when you see this, I've already been pulled a week. But I really do appreciate all you guys. I want to be where I'm at. We are gaining in subscribers. If you want, you can help support the channel on some parts, pieces, stuff like that. Every little bit helps. You can go down in the description below and look at, there's my Patreon, and there's Buy Me a Beer. So if you could, go on down there and help me out a little. But go ahead and leave a comment. I always try to reply to my comments, what you think, what I should be doing different, what I could do different. Give me a big thumbs up and not the finger, And share this video out with your friends, because that helps out. The algorithm tells them, hey, this stuff's good. They're sharing it out. So share it out. That helps. So, yeah, I think that's about it. But you guys go ahead and why not hit the subscribe button also if you like this kind of stuff. But hey, we'll see you next weekend when we start working on the driver's side sill. And why don't you go check out this video? I think it's pretty interesting. See you later.